and they know what they can expect from the soil. The soil has all the ingredients, but it's the sunlight, the wind, the rain, and all those other aspects, which is a universal reality around the world. So what we have here, you can see the soils are fairly light in color, and they've got a lot of these white stones. This is part of the Transvaal supergroup, which is a massive, it's like slices of sandwiches, you know, in different breads. So this one has got this soil here. That side is another material called dolomite. We'll hear a lot about dolomite today. Dolomite, you can best describe it as Swiss cheese or as a giant block of coarse sugar that when it gets water in it gets holes in it and then it gets soft. You can also talk about children's teeth when they're getting eroded and things. So, but the dolomite is where the caves are, and that's where the formation of fossils or the preservation of fossils occurs. So what we have right here, right immediately, is this intrusion underneath the dolomite. Okay, we'll talk some more about it a bit later on. But immediately you have different ecosystems, and that line of trees is the contact point. It's also a water course, and it brings down minerals and so on. So that's why the trees are bigger. But we'll talk more about the plants. These are classic acid soils, stony soils. Hard to see. It looks like a bit of a wall. But through there, one of the pioneers built a house there. Why? Well, look what's around you. Green, fresh growth. Two of the heaviest woods in this region, the red bush willow and the leadwood, are extremely hard and slow growing, and they're the same. It erodes away and gets cavities and so on. It also allows water to penetrate through it. Now you see this vehicle, it's got a nice roof on it, and you get these springs. They're called seeps, but sometimes they concentrate and you get a little stream flowing out. And because the water's coming through and being replenished, parts of Cape it's a springbok, but this guy is the most widely dispersed, and it's, you know, the general antelope. They are grazers and browsers, which makes them successful. They can eat little leaves off the bushes, and they can eat grass as well. They are extraordinary animals. They're very, very wonderful. By the fence? Nyala. N-Y-A-L-A. Nyala. They're not sables. I got confused by the black. 2 rams. They're trying to get down the bottom there.
Nick! Nicola! I'm trying to pronounce her name here.
I see, but you try.
Nick, we are waiting for you in our car. What's wrong with your key? The blesbok is an open country animal, and you see it's got a white face. Many animals who live in the open country, their way of controlling their exposure to heat is to stand facing the sun. It sounds odd, but the narrowest profile is the front of this. This is a sinkhole. I don't know how it's going to stop for everybody, but yeah. So this sinkhole is not that old. It's about 25 years. Look at that!
Yeah. Canoe.
Okay.
Why didn't you tell me there was a rock in the way?
I didn't see it. Your co driver is not. He's busy.
Not watching. Be careful walking on the edge, please.
She's like, is that an
But yeah, no. So these are called plain zebra. Plains.
Yeah, this is a classic open country animal.
tortoise? Where is he alone or she?
It's a bull.
Oh, it's a bull. Is a he?
He's controlling the area because there's water here.
Wildebeest.
Wildebeest, blue wildebeest. It's not blue, it's really black, but his name is blue wildebeest.
Why the blue?
Because the grey is also called blue.
Oh.
He's got a lot of dirt on him from the mud. He's not normally so dark. And that gate is a very efficient gate. You get very far. It's an iron-rich rock. And it breaks up. Look, this has been tipping over. There's another one, look. Amazing rock. And because it's a sedimentary rock, it's an accumulation of materials. And it erodes unevenly because the rocks themselves are uneven. You see that one there? Across the valley is another one. It's another part of this original formation. So this valley eroded up the hill like I told you right at the beginning. There were springs and it was eroding back. There's another cave right at the bottom on the right. You can't see it from here, but that's where they found a 4,000-year-old copper smelting place.
Stand up in nice
Yes, that will make your life very difficult.
and they make your life difficult, yeah. The only thing I didn't like about the RC is when I went in, they kept my...
No. Oh, it's not working now.
I think it's working now.
You have those birds in Malawi or
Which one?
that bird that is singing.
There are many birds, yes.
That
That's
one
why.
that produces that.
Mhm.
Where is that one?
Where?
And we do have a very big dinosaur fossil record here in the Caribbean, in the volcano.
This is firewood. Firewood, you know? When you're sent to the forest, look for firewood. 2 minutes, you have it. Look at all this firewood.
No.
Let's get to the cave.
What they call
Cave. I don't know what's happening here. Let's see. Come in, people. Patrick, this is where you're spending the night.
Now, to give you an idea of geological time, these little stalactites here have been growing for 100 years because they stopped mining here 100 years ago. So if that is 100 years, imagine how long it took to form this. So this is an exceptionally good visual idea of the age of these things and of the speed of these processes. And look in there, you can see it's rather like the ring of a tree. Professor Tim Partridge analysed one of those from Cold Air Cave at Makapansgat about 30 years ago. And from that analysis, he and his team sounded one of the first warnings of global warming. He said, these stalactites contain hundreds of thousands of years of weather history in them. Rainfall, drought, and temperature, and so on and so forth. Now here, the process of fossilization, all that loose soil over there is all loose. In summer, when we had more rain, this whole area drip, 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 drip. And that mineral-rich water falls on that soft sand, turns it hard into breccia. There is the wing of a barn owl. It's getting slowly covered. It's getting fossilized. So the soft sand, the infill is going to come in, will cover the barn owl, and then eventually with this mineral-rich water dripping through it, will turn it into a fossil. And that shows you how yeah, there are lots of bats here. That shows you how this whole process works. Right in front of you is how the process of fossilization works. Back in the early 90s, and one of the things she found in those sediments, which are dated between 170 and 220,000 years, was a fossilized brown hyena coprolite.
So what they do is they put cyanide in and it congeals as much as if you...
Yes.
Oh, this is so beautiful. So this is a real game.
Where are we staying? In town. Oh no.
Whereabouts?
This is good. Pure.
Pure water.
Mm-hmm.
You like it?
Mm.
It has a good taste.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. It doesn't have a good taste. It has a pure taste.
Pure. Pure taste.
From London to set up this new analytical department. Dr. Joe Kibbe from Nairobi. Had come down. He was an analytical specialist. He wanted to be interviewed for a position at this new department. 2 days before the guy was supposed to, it was either the skylight is a good proxy for a sinkhole. We know the floor of this cave was wet. We know the cave was about this size because Professor roof of the cave that fell in. So they're not sure if that is the same species as was found here. This is Australopithecus sativa. So they're moving out, and they also, you see this dark colored.
Being here, I'm very excited to be here with all of you. My background is in journalism. I'm a broadcaster, and so I've made a career out of asking people questions. And then I thought that the sort of questions I was asking were not really making any sort of difference in the world, because you ask politicians questions over the years, and you work out that you're getting the same sorts of answers. And so I found myself in existential crisis in about 2017, quite fed up.
Yeah, I used to be so sad. There's like
is firstly, when they come here, welcome home. Because this is the home of humanity. Every critical event has occurred on this continent. Second thing I want you to think about, though, as you watch visitors and people who come here for the first time, is to...
no, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
No, yes, it's straight to Pretoria. Yes, yes.
So what is the insect
Yes, I'll
repellent?
do that.
Insect repellent.
Join my mind, I'm thinking I'm in
That would be a long drive now.
And this gender equality. You are posing for a video.
Yeah, no, for a video.
I'll send you one.
Yeah.